XRP holders, surprise, surprise, I told you this would happen. Please read the disclaimer. Hello, beautiful people. Shalom, money makers. Let's not beat around the bush too long. As expected, the 10-year US note going over 4.5% was just too much for President Trump. And with all the noise that was made over the past 72 hours about what would they do, would they not do, President Trump came out last night and very conveniently had this to say. Let's take a listen.
Can you speak a little bit about your post on Truth Social on Iran and what was the decision that why you didn't attack Iran?
Well, other countries have come to me and they've said we were getting ready to do a very major attack tomorrow. I've put it off for a little while, hopefully maybe forever, but possibly for a little while, because we've had very big discussions with Iran, and we'll see what they amount to. I was asked by Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE, and some others if we could put it off for 2 or 3 days, a short period of time, because they think that they are getting very close to making a deal. And if we can do that where there's no nuclear weapon going into the hands of Iran, I think, and if they're satisfied, we will be probably satisfied also. We've informed Israel. We've informed other people in the Middle East that have been involved with us. And, it's a very positive development, but we'll see whether or not it amounts to anything. We've had periods of time where we thought pretty much getting close to making a deal, and didn't work out, but this is a little bit different. Now, we're ready going tomorrow, very big, and not something I wanted to do, but we have no choice because we cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon.
So, as expected, suddenly, right, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE said, hey, President Trump, let's wait a little bit. Of course, it's because of the yields. This is just an excuse. We knew this was going to happen. We anticipated that this was going to happen. And it's not a surprise, right? Suddenly there's something, somebody said something. It's very, very convenient, right? And now we'll see what's going to happen with this and how the markets are reacting. Well, last night the markets did react positively to this announcement. They were selling off, but they ended up coming back a little bit. Right now, XRP is sitting at $1.38. Down 0.4% on the day, nothing too wild here or there. And then we have Bitcoin. You can see it rose here last night after it pulled back once Trump made that statement. Also, Bitcoin sitting at 77,000, Ethereum at 2,100. Solana down all the way to 85. It was already at 100, almost at 100. And pull back now to 85. So the crypto market right now is in a wait and see kind of price action right now. Yes, the Clarity Act passed the banking committee, but we're getting kind of mixed signals about the probability of it passing the Senate in its current form. It still needs to be combined, the banking Senate committee draft with the agriculture committee draft. And right now there's kind of not a lot of hype around the crypto market, which is interesting because, for example, I just saw a video from, I think it was Fox, about how the stock market is about to be tokenized and how all these companies are going into crypto. And again, there's a situation where, we are right now in, I think it's doubt, right? Lark had a very good tweet here. He says, the 4 stages every crypto investor goes through. Excitement, everything is going up, you're a genius. That's the most dangerous one, right? Doubt, it drops and you question everything. Capitulation, you sell at the worst possible time. And regret, you watch it recover without you. Most people repeat this cycle multiple times before they finally reach understanding. You hold because you know why you own it. And you have to look at yourself and think, why are you in the crypto market? Why are you holding XRP? Why are you buying assets? And right now, the crypto market, it's not attractive at all, right? From a sense of movement, volatility. I mean, yes, there has been days of 3, 4, 5%, but if you go and you look at the stock market, for example, it's been much more exciting, right? And the crypto market, which had a name of being very exciting, right now is not. And this is, problematic for the crypto market short term, because we know that the crypto market can go from boring, 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 boring to very exciting, very, very fast. Again, I don't know what the market is going to do day to day. I don't know what President Trump's going to say, although I can, the yields give me a little bit of a crystal ball there. But day to day, what he's gonna say, it's hard. So I just want to remind you that this video is for educational purposes, for entertainment purposes only, not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence before you decide to invest. Also, remember that I will never ever contact you on social media asking to sign up to anything or to send me anything. Those are scammers, those are imposters. Please be very careful out there. Okay. Now, this is interesting because it seems that the markets are reacting heavily to what's going on. South Korea's exchange continues to fall, down 3.9%. And this is coming after overheated AI and chip stocks had that big rally, and now there seems to be profit taking. Of course, Samsung is the biggest there in South Korea. We know that the South Koreans love XRP, and I even noticed there's some like XRP YouTube channels in Korean. So they love XRP. We know that Upbit, of course, in South Korea is a big mover and shaker of XRP, and it just came out that the risk appetite in South Korea is going bananas. Margin loans outstanding on Korean stocks are up to a record of 24.3 billion. Since the start of 2025, margin debt has surged 140% and is up 32% since the beginning of this year alone. To put that into perspective, the value of leverage bets on Korean stocks was 55 billion in 2020. This also likely understates the real scale, given that many of these loans have taken out to buy stocks are labeled under other categories. Meanwhile, domestic investors have poured 25.3 billion into the South Korean shares year to date. So the South Korean investors are going heavy into the stock market, the American stock market, the Korean stock market. Previously, they were going heavy into the crypto market. But the question is, do they rotate back into crypto? Do they rotate back into XRP? When we had this big run up in November of 2024, a lot of the hype and a lot of the money that was flowing in was coming from South Korea. Yes, from America as well and from the rest of the world, but a lot of the price action, if you go back, was coming from South Korea. So it will be very interesting to see, do the South Koreans wake up on XRP once again, or do we continue with this lull, right? It's going to be interesting. Now, Tom Lee thinks that this is opportunity. Tom Lee says Ethereum's dip was a buying opportunity, according to Tom Lee. Lee says Ethereum falling below 2,200 was an attractive opportunity for Bitmain, and they purchased 71,672 Ethereum. Bitmain's current holdings stand at 5.28 million Ethereum, or 4.37 supply, averaging just 0.63 to reach their 5% goal. These big companies, the treasury companies, we saw Strategy, Michael Saylor also purchasing more Bitcoin. We're seeing now Tom Lee purchasing more Ethereum. We'll probably see Evernote come out and also do the same thing with the same tactic. It's funny because when Bitmain started coming out, Ethereum was running and it was at high levels when they were purchasing a lot of Ethereum, and now it's come down. So basically what they're doing now is their dollar costing average, they're lowering their dollar cost average, right? Their average buy price, and Strategy has been doing that too. And Strategy, I think right now is on the verge of either going red if it drops over, I think 75,000 is their average. So right now they're in the green, but of course Strategy would much prefer it to be back to all-time highs. But they continue to use the same tactic. They continue to buy and purchase these assets no matter what the current status of the market is. I think that previously they were a little bit more aggressive in their buying because they fell into the trap too of the hype of the crypto market, and everything was looking amazing and it looked like we were about to break out and we were going into the banana zone. And I think that Saylor and Tom Lee believed that there would be a banana zone in 2025, and that never played out. But after the aftermath of October 10th, they dusted themselves off a little bit and they continued to use the same tactics that they had planned for. So this will be very interesting to see again how this plays out. Price action point of view. I know that that's what most people care about. You don't care about the good news, but what usually happens is the good news, it bubbles, it bubbles, it bubbles, it bubbles, and then there's one or two catalysts that release all the pressure. So we'll see what that catalyst will be. Now, Clarity Act. Anchorage head of research David Lavant says that the bill has reached a stage where it's good enough to pass. We'll see. We'll see if this is good enough to pass. There are some still things that could potentially affect what's going on with the Clarity Act. We still have, like I said, the Banking Committee text must merge with the parallel bill from the Senate Agriculture Committee. Any compromise text will likely face new opposition. Then we have the 60-vote wall. Once reconciled, the bill faces a full Senate floor vote, requiring 60 votes to overcome a filibuster. The Republicans hold only 53 seats. This means at least 7 Senate Democrats must cross over. So that right now is the risk that there's not enough Democrats, or maybe a Republican decides not to show up, or I don't know, things can happen. So that right now, I think, is what's weighing on the crypto market. Is yes, we went through the banking committee, but I think that the crypto market remembers that the Genius Act also had a first go around that did not go so great. And if there's not enough Democrats, or too many Democrats want too many things, or maybe the banks lobby them right heavily, then that could potentially put a stick in the tire of the Clarity Act. And so that's what we're seeing right now. And of course, the ethics fight, Democrats are demanding a conflict of interest provision, banning the president and officials from profiting off crypto. The White House opposes this, of course. If resolved, the 60-vote math collapses, and if unresolved. And of course, like I said, the banking lobby, banks are still pushing to get the DeFi safe harbor removed, tighten stablecoin yield rules further, and strip developer protections. Banks may appeal to senators outside the banking committee before the floor vote, opening new pressure points. And of course, the House reconciliation. The House passed its own version in July of 2025, and the Senate version added new language on stablecoin yield, DeFi, insider trading, and bankruptcy. Both chambers must vote again on a unified bill. So you see, it's still complicated. Yes, it went through the banking committee, which was a stopgate, right? Because since January it got postponed, but this is still complicated, okay? And the August deadline, the floor must vote happen by August. Miss it, and midterm campaigns take over. The next window could be 2030 or beyond. Even if signed, the law has 360-day delay. The SEC and the CFTC must write the rules. Most compliance deadlines land in 2027 or 2028. The hard part is still ahead, okay? So there is still probability that this doesn't go through. Yes, we were happy when the banking committee passed. We were rejoicing. The crypto market got all excited. Prices went up a little bit, but then people started realizing that there's still a long road ahead. And so that's why I think that the price action got a little bit stuck. Okay, so we'll see how all of this plays out. But as always, don't forget to smash the like button. Check out the links in the description down below. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you next time. And like I always say, let's make a lot of money.